like it just puts you in better spots. Unfortunately for LBYS, didn't work out this time, so Rat's going to go ahead and tie this one up. And so it's at 1-1 here, and he's still going to find a win of that Paladin deck, like we talked about. And if you think that he's the kind of guy that's just going to queue up the same deck that he loses with, I got to believe the Rat's going to go with Warrior here this game.
Yeah, I don't think it matters too much. Mm-hmm. It's, just going to be sort of a 50-50. Zoo is obviously favored against like the more mid-range / tempo warrior. But I think just same as last series, Reno's just going to be the hard one to get the win in with where they're at.
Yeah, they definitely let him down the first round. If you didn't catch it, the Rat was up 2-0 in his first round and then got reverse swept against his Warlock deck, which is Reno N'Zoth kind of deck. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and play with the Tempo Warrior deck. I know he's a big fan of this one right now, and he's always been a big fan of Warrior decks in general, the self-proclaimed best patron player in the world.
Yeah, so this matchup's pretty close. I do think it's Zoo favored, but the Warrior does have tools like Ghoul just to deal with the Zoo boards, and obviously Fiery War Axe just kills every 1/2 drop that Zoo has at the moment.
Every time I'm playing against this deck and they don't have War Axe on 2, I do like a little dance. I get so happy because I'm like, oh, I probably win. And then every time they have War Axe on 2, I'm just like, man, this is so unfair. You can just never beat this card. It just kills everything you do for the first 3 turns,
Yeah,
it's
without
so
Death Rattles in the game, it's just every 2 drop just dies to it. And that's why we see him wait, just coin out that 3 drop. Or, nah, he coined it on 2. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this too. Go ahead and deny extra draws from the Rat for Acolyte of Pain, because you're going to have a good board to Whirlwind at some point in time. You don't want to give him extra value from that as well. And yeah, just go ahead and add a bunch of pressure too. Love this play.
He's going to hold off on that Abusive for right now because he knows that the potential Whirlwind or Ghoul could easily come out this turn. And this is going to be a clear board. He's going to use the Blood to Ichor on the 3/2 and then just Whirlwind.
Yeah, is there a world where you actually want to get an Armorsmith into play before the Whirlwind? I think there is, right?
Yeah, I think you want to put the damage on it just because the potential Battery Age top deck definitely matters.
Yeah, little things like this. Yeah, little things like this go a long way. Plus, it gives him 2 extra life, too. This Whirlwind possibly draws him 2 extra cards and 2 extra life, and for 1 mana, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, you just saw a Whirlwind. Why not make 4 1/1s?
Yeah, that's been the greatest use of this card in Zoo. A lot of times you just hold that Forbidden Ritual for after the AoE, just because getting those 1/1s for Zoo is just such a big deal. It gives you targets for things like the Defender of Argus, for the Dark Iron Dwarf, the Abusives. So that card's just been really good for refilling.
Yeah. Now, he does have Dark Iron Dwarf Abusive Archer this turn, so he can make one of these guys 5 power, run the second 1/1 into it, and then run the third 1/1 into the Slime here. So it's actually going to be a kind of clean board for LBYS here, but Brian the Rat Cortate is at a very high life total here, and Slam's a pretty good pickup as well. You can slam this Dark Iron Dwarf, get to draw a card. Also, we find something pretty good. This is a decent enough execute target.
Rage.
Oh yeah,
Battle Rage is real good because that's what this game comes down to. It's like a lot of times just the Warrior fizzles out if they can't find the card draw, and just Battle Rage is going to keep him having the gas to stay up with the Zoo tapping every turn.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a problem in this matchup, is the fact that you don't get to pressure them a lot early, so they just have free reign to tap a whole bunch. And this way, he doesn't have to use one of his executes. So something like Sea Giant were to come out, and he has a clean answer to it. This Councilman could be taken care of as well. Just get some damage on it and execute it from there. Defender of Argus, not the best top deck here. The old Councilman Knife Juggler, it's always so weird to me, the sequencing that you do these cards. Sometimes you have to do some really strange sequencing with the Zoo deck when those cards are both in your hand.
It used to be so obvious. It would just be like, all right, play Knife Juggler and then my other creatures, and now you actually have to make a decision. Nobody wants
I have to make decisions with my aggro deck? I don't want to do that. I just want to play stuff and hit him in the face. If I have to trade with the minion, I am not having fun.
That's just the general rule of Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
Put this apple on your head.
So the Knife Juggler is finally going to come into play, but this gives him actually a chance to get some real value off his Defender of Argus here. It's always not weird to have Knife Juggler against the Armorsmith Frothing Berserker board, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. It's good that he has this Mortal Coil, because Rat's definitely going to try and take this favorable with the Frothing Berserker on one of these creatures.
Mm-hmm.
But we're definitely going to see Grom come out. I think the Rat's just deciding how he wants to do these trades, and I think he's going to send the Grom into the Flame Imp, and then the Frothing into the Knife Juggler. But
yeah, I was going to say, I don't really see a better line here that leaves you with a better board. I mean, yeah, it sucks that LBYS has a Mortal Coil here, which is a good answer to you, but I mean, like, I think this board is still just, good enough. He has so much power in play, and he has to deal with all this, and yeah, he has an answer to your Frothing Berserker here, but as of right this second, he doesn't have any. Ooh, let's say this. You actually just want to kill Grom here? Is that what's about to happen?
Can he? What did he tap into?
No, I was going to say, it depended on what his top deck was with Mortal Coil. But, yeah, I mean, he's actually getting pretty low here now.
Yeah, this is definitely how the Warrior wins. Like, Rat will not pass up this face damage because how Zoo wins, it's just they tap and they tap and they tap and they get the card advantage that way. And Malkarak is such a big pickup, and he's just going to go face with whatever he gets for the most part.
Oh, you got one of the better ones. Got Assassin's Blade. Yeah, I like going face here. Yeah, I really like just going face here. You're losing your Grom, who cares? You got a 6/5 in play and a 3-power dagger with a lot of charges. That's almost it. I mean, like, WS has to trade in his whole board here.
And then he's put to 1 the next turn and is forced on exactly the Argus or Voidwalker. And even then, like, Rat's so healthy, and it just gives him so much time. And that deck has a lot of threats, so it's definitely looking grim. And just the Cork Run off the top, gonna make it so there's no questions about this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple weapons that you can get that are just insane. I've seen, like, this week alone, I've seen a lot of Gladiators longbows deciding games. You can get Gore Howl. I've seen Gore Howl win some games, but I hadn't seen Assassin's Blade just yet, and that's another really good one to get off that card.
Yeah, I think people are realizing just like the math on that card is there's just so many good results. Of course, sometimes you're going to get the Curse Blade and you're going to cry, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't run it. Just the card's just really good and just a lot of value.
Yeah, I mean, I want to